Hey you guys, it's Alexis. I hope you guys have been good. Baby, it's been a little second, it's been a little minute, but I am back with another video and I just wanted to give back to um, a requester that requested a little video. We're going to look at little baby's chart. We're just going to, honestly, we're just going to kick it. We're going to kick it. We're going to have fun. We're going to catch up and, just check in after the election. Are y'all surprised? Are y'all surprised? Honestly, I made a video on my TikTok and I was talking about how I was looking at Kamala's chart and I was looking at Trump's chart, and I put it out there that I was like, oh, Kamala gonna win. I was like, oh, Kamala's gonna win based off of the shit that I'm seeing, based off the astrology. And now there has just been a lot of pushback from all the people who consume spiritual content and astrology. They're like, these bitches is lying. These bitches is lying. I'm never gonna watch another spiritual thing again. And I'm just like, I don't know, y'all. The way that I was feeling after that election, I felt really off. I felt really, really strange. Um, did they tamper with the election? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, but I feel like if all of the astrology girls have been saying the same thing, something is a little off. Even not even just with astrology per se, but just people been pulling on it, pulling on the energy, and it's just been very mixy. It's been very weird. Like the everything about the election was just weird. And even now, all of I've been seeing reports coming out that there's still ballots being like numbers are just not adding up. And hey, what can I do? What can I, I'm not I'm not in the government, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Where I am just a spiritual baddie looking to share knowledge and wisdom and live life. And hopefully we can do that together. Um but yeah, I mean, looking at the grand scheme of things, it's kind of just like if they didn't elect Hillary, why would they elect Kamala? The last thing that they want in office is a woman in this patriarchal society, which is understandable, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I just feel like with Pluto and Aquarius, we're just gonna see some things that we haven't never seen before to this point, thus far. So just remain optimistic about the changes in your own life that you are going to seek and that you are going to work towards, okay? Um, really build your communities, build yourself up. If you've been looking to join communities, don't just look to join communities so that you can feel safe. Find safety within first and bring your set of values and skills and everything that you offer to your community so that you can best serve each other, right? So that we can best serve each other in the collective during this time. Speaking of which, I didn't even peep her right here. I didn't even peep her. And why did they put Ivanka's face on Barron Trump's? Who did that? I didn't even see that. But if y'all like it, kick back. This is for the requester that wanted to see little baby's birth chart. I never really looked at his birth chart. So this is gonna be interesting, y'all. This is gonna be fun. Kick back, just chill, kick it. I got me I actually like to do like sleepy girl mocktails. So I meant to grab the tart cherry juice at the store, but I accidentally grabbed pomegranate juice. So it's like really dark in color, kind of matches my nails, but it kind of fits like the fall theme. And I have some kava in it. It's really, really great for nervous system support. It calms your nervous system. So I like to use it at night when I want to, unwind and I want to just decompress. It's really, really good. So we're sipping on that, sipping on some water. And y'all like the hair? Y'all, this is my first time ever doing my hair myself. This is my first quick weave. And for that one person that said, stop looking at yourself, baby, how can't I? You know what I'm saying? Ah! But yeah, I wanted to do like little highlights. I just love the little Pika blonde, a little Pika sunny. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like, when you have a beat face and you got like, you got yourself together and you're like, girl, let me go run 73 errands. That's just the type of time I'm on. So But enough of that. We're gonna go get into his birth chart and look at Dominique, baby. Look, we're gonna look at Dominique. There has been a lot going on. I know that recently, he recently got with this girl. She's a nurse. She has a BBL, and there it's just been all the rave because everybody knows Lil Baby for being with his baby mom, Jada Chavez or Jada Cheeves. Sorry. But it's just very, very because the whole topic of conversation is the fact that this man is just tricking hard on this girl, and people have been dragging her looks, talking about she looks like what's her name? What's her name? They talking about that she looked like Gypsy Rose with a BBL child. And I say, you know what? Y'all are not nice people. Y'all are not nice people. I don't know, maybe just because, like, her in the proportion of her head size to, like, the BBL size, it just makes things look a little off. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. She catch a trick, good for her. Good for her. And he a big trick too. We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that after everything. But yeah, it's been a topic of conversation because he's well known. He's well known to trick on the girls. I mean, listen to his music. He like, I'll buy a bitch 5 foot, I'll buy bitches lace friends, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's nothing to him. It's nothing. I'm like, Dominique. Dominique, you like, and I heard that he be putting people through the mattress, y'all. So good for them. I mean, he a Sag. I mean, I'm a Sag Venus. So like, what's up? What's up, Dominique? I'm playing, but yeah, let's get into the chart, y'all. Okay, so Dominique Armani Jones, known as Lil Baby, was born in Atlanta, Georgia. In Atlanta, yeah. Make sure if you haven't seen his documentary on Amazon Prime, really go watch it. Go back. It's a really, really good documentary. Drake features in it. Young Thug features in it. They just talk about his backstory and how he really came up, and it's really inspirational for real. Because just like when you be going through shit and you like damn, I'm going through it, and then you hear like some people's backstories, and you're just like, people are just built so different. Like people have a set of resilience that I mean, it comes out, naturally when you are trying to survive. When you're in survival, you're just gonna like adopt what you see around you, what you know. And for him being like one of the main like drug niggas in his area, and he was getting money before the fame, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this hustle mentality is built in, it's embedded, it's really true to who he is and to who, you know it's a true testament to his belief system. And I think that's just super dope, you feel me? Like, it's super, super dope. I know it's kind of like drugs, but when you are in an economic environment where there's no opportunities, where you look around and who do you see? Who do you see making the most money? The drug dealers. So what are the children going to aspire to do? They're going to look up to that. What are you going to be when you are in a destitute community? Lack of resources, lack of opportunity, lack of guidance, because the elders, they have to go to work, or they're older, they don't have as much mobility, all of these things. So a lot of the kids are left to survive and left to fight for their food, fight for their shelter, do things like literally like grow up really fast. And that's just unfortunately, that's just the case in the story for a lot of people, especially little black boys. And I know that he really took care of his family. He made sure that everyone was straight around him, and I can commend that kind of spirit. Like, I can commend that this I can just commend that as a person. Like, you just want to do good. You want to you want to be the best you can for the people around you. So you're gonna take the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be the corner boy. You gonna get it how you got you have to get it how you're supposed to get it, by any means necessary. And it may not always be morally just, but that's for that person and God to take it up with. And yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all know that a lot of these situations is a systemic issue, right? It's not necessarily a black or white issue, but a lot of the time it can get deducted to that because there is a disproportion in resources as it pertains to the availability of one race versus the other, right? It's just a lot of nuance. It's a lot of complexity. You know, he a hood nigga. Let's get into it, y'all. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so let's go down here first. So he is a sun in Sag. He has a lot of Sag, which I think can also add to like his whole disposition of like really just picking something and going after it and having like this blind optimism and this blind faith because he is so Jupiterian, he's so Jupiter ruled, right? Like he's everything he's gonna do is gonna be big. Like Jupiter, like Sag people, if they're gonna do something, if they're gonna say something, they're gonna speak on it with their whole chest. If they're gonna eat something, they're gonna eat like the whole thing times 10. If they're going to they if anything that they do, they're going to give it their all, right? They're going to go hard at it. And that's what I really appreciate about Sag placements because it's all about that grandiose aspect with that Jupiter influence, right? It's like them knowing that they can do it. Them knowing that they're the best at whatever they're doing. It's like they just have this confidence and this swag that's like it's gonna work out. Even if I gotta do something else, they're gonna go hard at whatever they're doing and they're gonna give it their all and they're gonna have optimism. They're not gonna doubt themselves in the process. They're just gonna go with it. And I love that shit. I love it. Okay, so he has a sun in Sagittarius, moon in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sag, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Leo, Jupiter in Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces. So he had a Saturn return recently. He's currently wrapping that whole mess up. Uranus in Capricorn, Neptune in Capricorn, Pluto in Scorpio. Oh, oh, he got 228s. Okay. North Node in Scorpio, and he has a Chiron in Virgo. So he's interesting because he has all the Sagittarius energy, but then he also has a heavy stellium of Scorpio, which honestly is very interesting. And I want to test the theory that I have. And I hope that y'all fuck with me with it. Y'all rocking with me. Okay, y'all rocking with me. Okay, boom, 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 boom. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is he has that Leo Mars squaring his Pluto in Scorpio, right? And a square in a birth chart indicates tension. It indicates the two planets that are communicating with one another that are operating in two different ways, causing friction, causing tension, causing difficulty. It's not a streamlined energy, right? If you think about a trine or a sextile, those energies flow easily, right? And trining is like training with sextiling or training and sextiles are a flow, a harmonious blend of energies. The two planets are working together in unison. But when we have when we have a sorry, y'all. But when we have a square, right, or opposition, the energy it's flowing. It's not as seamless. There's a process of working up, of working to the occasion, of working to then find balance, working to then find a certain middle ground between the two energetic planets, between the two energetic alignments from these planets. And because he has a Leo Mars, right? And I like Leo Marses because Leo Mars is like they're gonna like, especially with that Sag energy, it's like they really just be like, when they're around, they're either very very loud or their aura and their presence is very very loud. Like they do things like they want to put on a show. Right. Like Leo rules the fifth house. Leo is the self expression. They like the dramatics. They want to put on a show. They want to have an audience. But with it in Mars, it's like they want to show how, like, their motivation is by showing them that they're the best, that they're the top dog. It's no wonder why, he is known, why he has a documentary where people see him in his neighborhood. Like he got street cred. People can aspire him. The people that have rapport with him was like, oh, he been like this. Like he always been the top shit. He always buying the most bottles. He always, like he bringing in the money in the like, you know what I'm saying? Like he is known and it's done in a very like like in a very grandiose way. Like he's gonna go about his motivations, he's gonna go about his passions, and then be like, "Oh yeah, y'all see me." Y'all see me having this the sun ruling over that Mars. It's like almost getting like a spotlight on the things that you're going after. And for him, it was about like rap. That was just something that he did. Like he was just good at it. He was just like, yeah, yeah, I can do some rap. But what he did mostly was be in the street, doing street shit, you know? It's kind of like that King Von energy. Like Von was a Leo. He had that. It's like this royalty. Like even if it's something that you're like bad you're doing, it has that sun energy, so it illuminates that energy. So it's like it's almost like you have an audience like of what you're doing. You kind of have like this royal audience that is watching you, watching down on your accomplishments, watching down on your on your motivations, on your goals and the things that you're accomplishing, and it's done in just this like regal way where people can be like, "Oh, you know, this kind of thing like Leo people, Leo Mars, Leo placements, Leo moon, they can attract a lot of haters because of the way that they just go about it in a very just like exemplified way. And people can really hate on that. Like people can really hate on that. But with but Mars is also it's it's our motivation, but it's also, it's our sex, it's our peen, you know? And with a Leo Mars and a man, it's like a very selfish peen, a very self-centered peen, right? Because the sun is ruled by Leo. Leos, they're very self-centered, right? They're very self-oriented. They're very self-affiliated. So with him, it's like he's doing his motivation solely for his own motivations, for his own gain, for his own recognition. So he could be a very selfish lover, a very selfish person in bed, you know? Um and this is squaring Pluto. And Pluto is in its ruling sign in Scorpio, right? Um Pluto is in his ruling sign in Scorpio, and his Mars is in Leo. A selfish lover, selfish and somebody that wants to get their way, somebody that isn't trying to give up their power, somebody that doesn't want to have power taken from them or a perceived or even have the perception of power being taken away from them. So this can be someone that also just might abuse their power through sex, might abuse their power with their motivations, you know? Leo placements, they are really loyal people, right? But a lot of the time they are truly loyal to themselves, truly loyal to what they desire, truly loyal to their own motivation. So it's like this could be someone where they can have a bunch of people that are loyal to them, but not necessarily having that same amount of loyalty because they want to have a certain level of power over another person. Like, and what's so interesting, right, is that he has a Jupiter in Scorpio. Jupiter is like Jupiter teaches us lessons. Jupiter is like the ultimate teacher. Jupiter is about philosophy. It's about our belief system. And with, a Plutonian Jupiter, this could be somebody that just like has this belief system that they have to have undying loyalty, undying power, undying strategy. The way that they maneuver, they have to be very strategic in the way that they do things, right? This could be someone that, they could have a lot of connections um, based off of, their proximity to power and how they get away with that, how they go about asserting themselves and, um, accepting a sense of power. and it's in Scorpio. So, it's ruling the 8th house. So it could be even obtaining power through other people or restricting power from other people's power. And this square, this could even look like tension, difficulty, relinquishing a certain level of power, relinquishing a certain level of selflessness, you know? So, he could come off as very like grandiose and warm with that Jupiterian aspect with all that Sag, but this square, this Pluto and this Pluto and Scorpio and this Jupiter Scorpio, and he got a North Node in Scorpio and he got a Venus in Scorpio. He could really he could really have some secrets about his true nature, you know? He can have some secrets about his true nature. He is somebody that doesn't want to give up himself willingly. So he will show up in a way, right? Use that charm, that Sagittarius charm to disarm people from his true nature. I'm like, like, and honestly, it's in his birthright. I mean, in this lifetime, he is supposed to be somebody that confronts levels of power, that asserts a level of dominance, that has a certain level of but it's interesting because it's not conjunct. Yeah. It's a pretty far conjunction, but even like his Venus close to that north node, he is supposed to even like really try to work on intimacy issues and intimacy in relationships, period. That like and the fact that it's in his north node, like he is somebody that, he is destined to understand the complexities of relationships and to let his guard down and to welcome in love and to be hurt and to understand the pain and the sacrifice of love, the sacrifice of vulnerability. And this could be really difficult for him. This could be difficult with him, and even just because he has that square there. He doesn't want to relinquish that vulnerability. It's a sort of power that he has. And this could even just be like a man thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got that Chiron and Virgo. And what's so interesting is that his Chiron is ruled by Mercury and his Mercury is in Sag. So even like he could even have some there could be some wounds around his communication. There could even be some wounds about early childhood. Maybe he had like some learning disabilities or, lack of access to certain education, you know, or even just like lack of access of being like smart enough, right? But he's very smart, but it's kind of like that conundrum where you're very very smart but you still compare yourself. It's like a difference between like book smarts and street smarts. It's like he's smart, but there could have been like a challenge when it came to communicating, maybe even communicating his emotions, intellectualizing his thoughts in a way that other people could really understand him, right? And oftentimes I see a lot of the time that people that have like Chiron in the third house or like Chiron in Gemini or Chiron in Virgo, they are like really, really, really talented artists, talented musicians, talented writers, because it's like almost done as a, it's almost like they wanted to perfect this vulnerability, this wound around a level of communication or speech or intellect and being an intellect, right? There was some wound around that. Maybe felt like they weren't worthy enough. They weren't heard in childhood. So now it's like they want to pour their emotions and their intellect into writing, into these Mercury ruled things. It's like on kind of like an overcompensation of sorts. What's so interesting also is that his sun is conjoined to his Mercury in Sag. So, literally, I see this all the time with artists, with rappers, or just like public speakers. They have their sun conjoined to Mercury, or they have their Mercury, or their sun in the ninth house, or their sun, or their Neptune. I mean, what am I talking about? Or their Mercury in their MC, or their sun in the MC, and they're like a Mercury ruled person. Like this could be somebody that is just very self-identified with speaking, with communication, right? And their self-expression is very um it's very known of their speech, of of what they say, how they say it, right? And for him, his it's so funny because his sun and his Mercury are ruled by Jupiter. And what does he talk about? He talks about his philosophy, getting money. He talks about his lifestyle. He talks about all these grandiose themes, the things that have built him, his intellect, like literally all of these his like belief system, his philosophy, the philosophy of who he is, what he thinks about, what he values, right? Um, that's what he's known for. That's what he's known for. And, his moon and sun and Sag, like this could be somebody that has a very symbiotic relationship with, who they are as a person and how they show up versus, how they really truly feel and how their own, emotional processing system is it's in alignment with who they really are, with who they choose to show up as, right? But what's interesting is that he has his Mercury square Saturn. So even then, that could even look like some difficulty with speech, with communication, with intellect, with a certain level of like a thinking process is in when Mercury has a difficult aspect to a malefic like Saturn, that could even indicate like a little bit of mental distortions, mental health, not even like anything super, super bad, but that could just show, that could be an example of mental distortions, right? Some restrictions. And that's not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, right? But it's something that had to be worked on over time. Maybe he was somebody that he couldn't afford certain classes to accommodate his needs. So there was like heavy work that needed to be done on his end to just kind of like rise to the occasion. Um, but with Saturn, it's like Saturn wants you to work at things over a period of time for then so that then you can realize your own potential, your own power, realizing who you are as an intellect, as somebody who has an enormous exuberant amount of amazing ideas, especially with his ideas being ruled by Jupiter. Like it's like you kind of get this knowledge, it's like God-given knowledge and intellect from an unseen force, right? Um yeah, I mean, even with his sun, it's not like a super, super hard square, but it's still a square. His sun square Saturn. This could even him having like difficulty when it comes to authority figures, having difficulty even with the father. His father might have been absent. Um, you know, um, oops, just pulled off my earring. His father might have even been incarcerated because Pisces rules over isolation. Pisces rules over, hospitalization. Um, rules over prisons. Rules over disillusionment. It rules over creativity. Using an absence of some sort to that shaped his sense of identity, his sense of self. Um, Interesting. I mean, even his moon and Sag is squaring that Chiron in Virgo. So even there might have been some difficulty at home when it came to like speech or, he took speech classes or, what have you. And it's like to feel important and to have validation. What do men do? They get a lot of money, they get a lot of girls, right? To overcompensate for something that they're wounded with, that they don't feel that they feel like they could do better at, you know? I don't know why I just took a a somber turn. I think I'm just tired. I'm just kinda tired. I don't know. I feel like I just picked up on his energy. Well, I think I just picked up on his energy. Ciao. But yeah, I just wanted to do like a quick little drive by. I really do hope y'all are good. Please keep commenting down below. I'm gonna keep posting more videos. I just wanted to post for the commenter. Thank you guys so much for interacting with the channel. I really did hope you liked this video. Um, yeah, please let me know if this resonated for you. I just wanted to do something for y'all since y'all wanted to rock with me and just give me some more video suggestions about things I should talk about. I just wanted to do this quick little drive by for you guys because I love y'all and I really hope you guys have been good. Tell me how you've been feeling with the election results and everything. It's gonna be a time, child. But thank you guys so much again for this, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. All right. Bye, y'all.